Today is another of Aesop's Fables, and I'm going to be reading The Mouse, the Cat, and the Rooster. A little mouse was in the farmyard looking for some food for him and his mother to eat for dinner. It was the first time he had been on his own, and the farmyard looked enormous. "I don't like this place," squeaked the mouse, looking around in fear. "I must find some food quickly and get back home." The little mouse didn't know where to start looking. He scurried around, peering and poking under this and that, but all he found was a horrible smelly cow pie. The little mouse held his nose. "Yuck! I don't think anyone could eat that," he said. Suddenly there was a loud piercing squawk, and a big, bold rooster strutted onto the yard. The little mouse had never seen a rooster, so he stared wide-eyed at the creature in terror. It was a magnificent but strange-looking bird. It had glossy feathers of all different colors, a scrawny neck, and a head that bobbed up and down when it moved. On its head was a bright red crest. Its beak was curved and fierce-looking. "Cock-a-doodle-doo!" cried the rooster, strutting about the farmyard. "Cock-a-doodle-doo!" The little mouse dived under a pile of hay. "It's monster who wants to eat me," he whimpered, shaking with fear. The rooster was frightened. The rooster saw the frightened mouse under the hay. "There's no need to be scared, little mouse," he said. "I'm not going to hurt you. Let me introduce myself." The little mouse said nothing. His teeth were chattering with fright. He didn't like the look or the sound of this strange creature, and he certainly didn't want to be introduced to him. He stayed quiet under the hay and listened to the monster scratching at the ground with his claws. The sound was horrible to the mouse's ears. As soon as the rooster's back was turned, the mouse ran away as fast as his little legs would carry him. The mouse ran onto the farmyard and straight into the barn next door. He had never been there before either. "Where am I?" he said out loud. The barn was huge and very gloomy. It had a high roof with green big wooden beams running across it from left to right. Bales of hay were stacking up, one on top of another. On one of the hay bales sat a pretty creature with soft, shiny fur and eyes that looked as though they were made of green glass. She smiled when she saw the little mouse and hopped down from the hay bales to come closer to greet him. It was a cat. "Are you lost, little mouse?" asked the cat. Her tail twitched and she stared to purr. It was a lovely, warm sound, so much nicer than the harsh crowing of the rooster. The mouse was charmed by it. "I think I am lost," he admired. "Well, I'm sure I can help you find your way," purred the cat silkily. "But first, tell me, are you all by yourself?" The little mouse felt that he could trust the cat. Her voice was so soft, and she seemed friendly. "Yes, I am," he said boldly. "I am looking for food for my mother." "Your mother?" replied the cat in surprise. "So there are two of you. Well, let's find where you live, and we can take some food to her together." "That's very kind of you," replied the little mouse. "My mother will be pleased to see you." "I will be very pleased to see her," said the cat, her voice growing silkily by the minute. "Perhaps if you squeak loudly enough she will hear you and answer back. Then we will know which direction to take." "That's a fantastic idea," said the little mouse, and he puffed up his chest to give his best squeak ever. "Squeak!" Just then the rooster strolled into the barn. "What are you doing in here?" he said, and he cock-a-doodle-dooed in his loudest voice. The little mouse fell open The little mouse's mouth fell open in alarm, and he panicked. "I must go," squeaked the mouse. The cat to the cat, and with that he scurried around a bale of hay and through a hole in the wall. The cat stopped purring and glared at the rooster. "You're always ruining my fun," she said coldly to the rooster. When the little mouse finally found his way home, he told his mother what had happened. He told her of the terrible, scary monster he had seen and the lovely silky cat that he had made friends with. His mother listened carefully. "You had a lucky escape, child," she said when he had finished. "Yes, I'm glad that rooster didn't eat me," said Little Mouse. "No," replied his mother. "The rooster wouldn't have harmed you. I was talking about the cat. That soft, friendly creature wanted to eat us both for dinner. The rooster arrived just in time to save you." The little mouse was very sorry to have misjudged the rooster and was careful never to trust the wrong person again. Appearances are not always what they seem. The end.